Welcome back to another episode of our Daily Scrum.
Host mode.
Yeah.
You want to kick us off, Rowan?
Yes. Let me kick us off. Let me find where I put my my response. Oh, here it is. Okay, cool. Yeah. Daniel, I was thinking that today for the daily yield, it might be good for us to demonstrate a seed again. Do you have one that you could use, or do we want to try and pull in another volunteer from the team?
There's a few seeds. There's a few dummy seeds. There's more complex seeds. There is stuff to show people.
Okay, we'll keep it just between us two then for today. Okay, great. Again, today I'm going to be focusing on podcast guest outreach again, something that I'm still trying desperately to put together a little sizzle. That's on my top priority. Also setting up X, TikTok, and Instagram using the WMP at plow.co website right now. A couple of them I just grabbed the username that I wanted using mine, but I'm going to transfer that over, and this is my first time trying that kind of that way of using a kind of a, what's the word I'm looking for, where I take my email address and add a little bit. Mary, I think you showed me that technique. I haven't actually tried that yet, but I'm going to try that today. I was hoping to get an update on the landing page, Daniel, for Watch Me Pivot, because that's also something I'd like to link people to when we do the outreach.
Cool. Do you want the update now or the?
Yeah, sure. Or whenever. Afterwards, we'll be fine. Yeah. And that's it for me. I mean, we can garage that.
Cool.
Nice. I got to work a little bit on the OpenSeed page and trying to just get some final touches into the HTML, because I had kind of taken a step away into Figma. So working through that, I don't think I've gotten your feedback, Plucas, and I still would love to kind of gather that from you and or Jonathan, of just like, there's two kind of like design versions. One was like more dark, and I think was a little bit more like the Shellmate page that like Sam was gravitating towards at one point. Although I think also he was gravitating towards it because it was actually like built the old-fashioned way and not through LLM generation. So everything was very intentional. But then the other one's a little bit less.
She's gone.
Restream just doesn't like me. I don't know. Oh, I think. Is it? Yeah, okay. I'm not even using the camera. Oh, I think it froze again. Can you hear me at least?
I can hear you. We can hear you, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, would love to get someone to just really read through it and make sure everything sounds right to a developer.
Is this what you posted on Friday?
And yeah.
Yeah, I left some comments on there, in
Oh,
the Slack thread. The copy all
wait.
looked the same to me, so I was kind of just judging it more on the like how the information was, like the visuals of the like example and then the colors.
Cool. Yeah, the copy should be the same on both. Sorry, I totally missed that you responded in the Slack. I was looking on Almanac that supports comments.
Sorry. No, makes sense. Okay.
No, no. I'll check that out. Thank you for doing that. I just totally missed that. What else? Rowan, I posted in the Daily Yield channel, which I know we haven't really used it, but I figured maybe it felt like the right place. Some just like quick, I spent like 30, 40 minutes just exploring some ideas for the Daily Yield lockup. Would love to get your thoughts on that. And then, yeah, I need to get you the Skillshare assets still. Sorry, that's lingering. I was playing around with it a little bit, and gosh, yeah. I feel like sometimes LLMs work great, and sometimes they just like give you slop. And I feel like I wasn't able to get not slop, so I just need to go to Figma.
Yeah.
Cool, thanks. So I've been still working on the seed creator
Not me either.
stuff. I worked a little bit on the interview process and like encouraging the seeds composition stuff last time. I didn't get to posting anything to that WhatsApp group. I'm kind of at a loss of how to engage that thread. So I don't know if anybody has any ideas, let me know. But I need to think more about that. And then today I'm just gonna like create a PR to basically update the seed creator just to like have the new learnings. Like I started going down this path of like these evals and this framework for it. But I'm not super happy with the quality of any of that stuff yet. So might as well just update the creator to be like what I have, and then we can kind of go from there. Yeah. And then today's my last day with my brother, and so I'll leave probably at like 4 or something today, to go have dinner with them.
Nice. For me, I said I was going to get 30 people to join the hackathon. The current number is 4. There's 4 signups on our Discord channel out of 30. So I'm thinking, I was discussing with Rowan about the strategy there. I said I was going to prepare material and instructions for people joining the hackathon. I did deploy it on Watch Me Pivot /hackathon. I just exited for some reason it's down. So, but it's there. It's there. I just need to figure out what happened. I said I was going to run Facebook ads, and I today I started the ads. Claude published a few videos there. I want to see what will happen, and I'm excited. I say I was going to apply the design changes on Watch Me Pivot. This is, let me click the link. Yeah, this is live. This is 80% done. It is not 100%. Now I need to polish all the things that Claude did wrong based on the design. And there's like colors, fonts, positioning, that type of stuff. Yeah. I think this will be ready today.
Oh man, are you looking at it, Mary?
No.
Just the these podcast thumbnails are just killing me.
In a good way or in a bad way?
Well, the whole thing is awesome, but they're just like there's drift on the color. And and I'm trying to pin it down.
Yeah. Do you have all the images for these?
I do.
I like wonder if I should just recreate them.
Yeah, these look like they're like an earlier. No, yeah,
Oh, maybe they are.
maybe
They might be.
They might be the earlier version. Huh?
Because yeah, Daniel, you did a pass this before, right? So it's possible that it pulled from previous.
let me. So
Or didn't update
those images.
files.
Oh, you didn't on Figma. They are. They look the same on Figma for me. So let me share with you.
Maybe it's just the white border that helps soften the fact that they're off.
So.
Which is why I added it, to be honest.
No, the whiteboard is a good idea because if they are the same, then yeah, that separation would be great. When they are actually all true, the true color.
Yeah. Okay, well we can figure that out. No, not those thumbnails, Daniel. The ones at the bottom on the podcast.
Oh, the bottom. Okay, no. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we updated those in the Figma file from the first HTML that you got. So those might just need to get updated again.
And it looks like the
Are repulled.
Yeah, there's a few little things in here.
Oh yeah, no, there's a lot of stuff
yeah.
wrong there.
Yeah.
That's the 20%.
Yeah.
About.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it for me.
Cool.
Okay, for me, the number one thing I said I was going to work on was continuing the validator. So I've been doing a lot with that. Step one was to be able to get local testing so that if on my local version of the seeds website, I like submitted a seed, then I could also do a local validation session. So I got that up, fixed a couple just like bugs and things that I found. And then I added a manual kickoff interface. So if you are on the seed page, if it's either an admin like us or the person who created the seed, you can go into like a validation page. And so you can kick off validation runs that will actually do some of the static validation and also do a full install via a Docker image. And I have new hooks to get like actual output back from that. And then the other thing is I have an interface where it'll extract what human answers it thinks it needs. And so you can supply those, where you can click a suggest button and AI will try to autofill. So maybe you do less work.
Wow.
Hmm?
Wow. That sounds really cool. I would love to see like if you could like walk us through this or like a video of it or something like
Yeah. I'll
seems
add
really
that.
cool.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say it's actually like really cool. It honestly just does a run. It's not very interactive. The output is static and everything, but at least gets the flow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a few things I want to do to wrap that up, and I need to do a little bit more testing on that as well, and then I need to deploy it, and I haven't done like a whole deploy to like the AWS batch, so hopefully that'll go smoothly, but I honestly don't know. And then if all that's good, then I'll work on doing the actual curation, and so I'll probably do a call to everyone like, hey, let me know if there's any seeds that like are either in GitHub or on your own personal repositories that we should think about including, but I'll message Slack for that one.
Sweet.
And that's me.
I got I guess parking lot. How are we all feeling about Monday and the status of everything. I think also wanting to gauge, like, it's technically a holiday week. Most people have Thursday and Friday off for 4th
Oh
of
yeah,
July.
I should flag I'm
But
going home to St. Louis Thursday to Thursday. I'll be
nice.
around, but my timing may just be a little wonky because I'll be with family.
Cool. I mean, I'm
So
like
yeah, that
definitely
also.
going to take Friday off, but I guess Thursday can be negotiable based on where we're at. But
Has anyone talked to Sam?
no.
Yeah. I'm not feeling super great about where I'm at for this launch, particularly. But I can try to work through that.
What you're focused on the seed creator? Where is that at? Did you have any luck on the recipe app? Pinch.
I haven't looked too much into the recipe app. I've been focusing on like yeah, the projects that I've been
Yeah.
creating seeds from, that, and it's going fine, but not super great. So I don't feel like we could, yeah, I don't think like this, the seed creator is just like not it's a challenging project, and I don't feel like I'm cracking it very well. So to have that be like the
Mhm.
flagship thing to like launch feels, I'm not confident in it, at least today. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Also, that conversation with Jonathan on like Thursday or whatever was just kind of making me rethink seeds in general. Like I'm not, I don't know. There's just something I need to get Sam to just like talk me through like why seeds are amazing again, and then I'll be okay.
Yeah, I've actually been like thinking also about that conversation, and I have thoughts, but they're like 75% formed, so I'll maybe do a little more write up on some of my thoughts from that as
Okay.
well. But
Do you want to come on Daily Yield and talk about them, Jonathan?
not at 70, maybe once I've like considered it more, then I'll send my thoughts out and then you can see what you think. I don't want to like
Process really.
hash out half thoughts right now because I don't know all the implications.
Yeah, I think this is obviously, questioning the nature of our assumptions continually. I think is fair game, right? And yeah, it's tricky because if Sam were here, I can only imagine he would be able to reinvigorate that belief in the format of seeds, because I've heard him say with absolute conviction that this is a great um, format. But yeah, I also see some of the challenges. So interesting to hear us consider that this is not it's not kind of where we want it to be. It's kind of interesting.
I mean, I don't know if like, at least from my perspective, that there's like a fundamental like global, oh, like we need to rethink the idea. I think it's just like where we were approaching it from and like the
Mm.
audience and who's using it and some of the primary value things are just a little bit on rethinking. And I think like Daniel's approach is pretty different than what I was thinking, and like actually in some ways more like forward looking, I think, to how we'll interact with AI. So just kind of reconsidering perspective more than anything else is at least how I'm thinking about it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I think I'm coming into the tension of like I want to believe in this forward thinking Daniel type vision where it's like all the software is just pros, and like I'm totally bought into that, but then bumping up against the reality of like where we currently are today. and like that's just like really hard to build that way. And also I get lost a lot on like who we're building this for, and like thinking that like the life dashboard that Sam has is like really cool, but also like incredibly hard, like to one shot install, and then 10 times harder to one shot like creating a seed from somebody that had already like set this all up. Like there's just so much stuff to test, and yeah, creating a seed from that, from just like a pile of software, uh, is really tricky. And like that, like a developer that's like trying to create this, and then you can like expect them to like have like dev tooling and like give input on like how to structure the seed and all of this, or is it just like, yeah, like what level of person is trying to create this?
It's a really interesting question, and I had it come up for me because I had to put a stake in the sand with our. I was asked who are our audiences for AI worth using, you know, and I was kind of caught in that tension of like, are we going for like the kind of like super kind of almost sophisticated at the cut of the bleeding edge of the technology dev audience that's kind of like enjoying kind of like playing with the new frontier of AI without code dependency and then mixing in code when needed? Or are we kind of like looking at people that are just like now all of a sudden experiencing, like myself, experiencing the ability to create for the first time in their lives and just getting sucked into that? And it could be both, right? But at what point do you lose one of those audience members in favor of another, right? So there's a tension there.
I'd say from my perspective, it's very much more in the developer. Okay, sorry, my screen's going crazy. We're still very much in the like developer audience persona, especially for AI worth using in particular, I would say too, because like, I mean, if one of our big like draws is like getting Tom on there, like I don't know who Tom, like that name doesn't necessarily mean anything to me, but like someone who is in the developer community, like that's going to be a draw versus I'm going to be like, who's Tom? Okay, another guy talking about AI. But I think we're in this hard tension where I think we want to draw on the developer community to create the seeds, and like they're the ones that are currently automating their workflows. They're currently doing these things, but it's almost so they're the audience for like the seed creator, but then the like seeds themselves, the audience might be more of like the me or the you, Rowan, where it's like have a technical literacy, but like not to the extreme of like the rest of the people in the room, or like this room even. Right. Part of like, I'm like, what can we get excited about right now? Or even like what can we test to learn? I know like the seed creation is hard, and it sounds like there's a couple different trains of or schools of thought on how we should even create seeds, but like I'm wondering if like instead of testing like can people create their own seeds, it's like can we put the life dashboard out there and have people successfully install it and use it? Like does the second half of that where like we create perfectly created seeds and we feel confident in the seed that's been created, and like are people able to install them and use them and find value? Is like that of any interest? Or is like the seed creator really like the...
Well, so
I mean, I
yeah.
know that's going to be the flywheel effect, right? That's what's going to like allow for like this marketplace and just us to grow our reach. But like if we were just to take the first thing that we could get a read from.
Yeah. Well, I think definitely having good seeds people could install is like very strong requirement, and it's a little unclear if we're quite there. I would say if we do a product hunt launch, like what are we hoping to learn and gain from it? I think is the big picture question that I would ask.
Yeah, I think there's another tension that I'm feeling is in the like the live dashboard is technically impressive, but it's going to be very hard to get people to install it just because of the hardware requirements. And so there's not like a ton of opportunity for learning, like to launch something like that. But if we were to launch, like if this is like a developer community type thing, launching like Daniel's My People, or like I could create like a kitchen seed or something that's a little more contained to like the, one, it would be of interest to the community and something that can like run on your computer like without additional hardware could be interesting. And then I think what we're still trying to learn, I would say, is like, one, are people interested? Like, can people install seeds? Like, is that compelling to them? Like, is installing software through seeds interesting and viable? And then one, is anybody interested in creating their own seeds and sharing? Those are the things that I think are like the top of what we're trying to learn. That's how I would frame it.
Yeah.
Have we done a brainstorm? Have we done like a brainstorm of like what would be like the top 10, you know, seeds that we could build out quickly and share? Like right now it feels like the genesis of the seeds has been from our personal motivation, right? Things that we all feel are like white spaces in our lives where we can plug something in that might fill a gap. What if we thought of like, or even looked at some, popular apps that people are downloading, or, and just try to kind of back into a popular thing, right? And say, oh, you don't need to go to the app store and download that for 99 cents. You can just try this line of code. Could we do that? Is there like a way to think about it from a broad utility standpoint?
I mean, I would definitely say the answer should be yes. Like, I think for to identify the two things, like, is installing this way interesting and viable, we need to at least make sure that the end goal is like worth installing. So it's not just about the seed to like get them through the door. It has to be something useful. I mean, I think that's maybe why like My People or Kitchen at least can be compelling, is because if people want this functionality, that's good. But I think it depends on a little bit on who the audience is. But yeah, I feel like there's maybe a little bit on like, do we have seeds that represent the like biggest ideal of?
Oh man, what you said the
Do it
biggest
once.
you said the biggest ideal of
And then exercise left for the reader,
fill in the space.
Yeah, to rewind the like I don't remember exactly what I was saying, but I think seeds need to show like the most ideal reason for having a seed with the lowest possible like investment from someone. And then if that shows it off, then hopefully that will also answer the other question, the second one. Yep. Yeah. Are people interested in sharing? Yeah, I don't know. This is we keep getting people keep getting kicked from this. So I don't know. I do feel like maybe there's missing like what's the idealized seed is still missing.
Well, one of the things that I guess gets me most excited about thinking about like the My People seed or like a kitchen seed is like those are like workflow tools that are like highly personal. And so that's one of the main benefits in my mind of seeds of like being able to add during, you're creating this thing, but it's based on some idea, like Daniel's idea, and you're bringing his idea, and then you're building it to like you can customize it during install and like make it how you want it to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is when I
And he-
shared
and
my
and
people.
and Daniel's already seen people do that with his thing.
Right.
So
Yeah,
it's
and the
there's some
the
fire
first
there.
time we didn't have a seed creator or a seed installer. What happened is I demoed my people on the Airbnb in San Francisco, right, on our in person. Lucas thought, oh, that's a cool thing that he built. The recipe for his solution is the source code. Hey, Claude, check it out this recipe, this seed. I
Hmm.
like this and this and that. I don't like that. Build it for me. And that was the process of like someone sharing the seed, someone getting interested about the seed and installing the seed. And Lucas was interested enough to babysit Cloud installing the seed um, to to its liking. So maybe is getting more people to would more people doing that be a signal we're looking for? Or another reflection, do we need a seed installer if the installer is the person driving the AI to install that thing and the seed is just a compiled version of the idea that the person who created had? So I don't need to share all the features that I don't need to explain to Claude what I want to build. That is what the seed is for. I just need to expose the things I want from it and have Claude build it for me. And then me as the user installing the thing, I can let Claude know if that is what I want. That is the outcome I expect from this seed installment. Um,
So I think the like answer for me is like we don't strictly need an installer, but it does provide a couple benefits. Most important, at least from my perspective, is being able to report back installs to the website, so we get a little bit of the loop there. So if that's within the seed spec itself, that's kind of fine, but I feel like we need some hooks there. And then from like a usability standpoint, the current installer will at least set up Claude to run with bypass permissions on, which I think is pretty critical as well. So, if we instruct people to do it, that's fine. And maybe we don't even want that, but at least it like asks and says, "What's your agent?" So there's a few like usability niceties there. I do feel that if the seed is like human prose that is like abstracted away from software, we're almost doing like development environment types of things. And so maybe the seed creator is also like a seed installer to some degree. But that was just like a random thought. But it
What do
should
you mean by
be
that?
as easy as possible. Well, it's just kind of like, okay, so if the idea is like we have this seed and we want to install it, but also maybe customize at the same time, then we're kind of doing like development on the seed ourselves. We like downloaded it and now we have it, and now we may want to make some changes before we install it. Well, making those
Hmm.
changes also sounds very much like the creation process. It's like an edit process, whether it's making something new or
Yeah.
modifying something that exists. So it almost feels like we have this like development flow where it's like, okay, download the spec. Maybe there's like summaries of the main things it does, and you can say, well, I do want this, I don't want this, I want to modify this, and then you do the install type
Yeah.
of situation. So it sounds very like, I wouldn't say development, it's like a little development environment, but it's a little like development plus install environment to get the whole flow. Because if it was just like a seed right now, I'm not sure what I would do to decide to make changes, especially up front when I don't exactly know everything that the software is providing just yet.
Yeah, that's interesting. I guess my thought on the customization was almost like it would be after the fact of like you just run through the installer, you get the my people or whatever, just like thing that it builds, and then you kind of like as a developer just like tweak it. Like, oh, you see this thing, you don't like it or whatever. You add feature X over time or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I think also if there's kind of the idea of people working on their own seeds and there being all kinds of different branches, we also need, let's say if you're a developer and you just like make changes to the installed software, it would be nice to be able to integrate any of those changes back into the seed. So then we get like a branch on what people are doing, and it becomes an option also
Yeah.
on the install if it's like a useful genetic trait type of situation, which
Yes.
doesn't sound easy to accomplish, but
That what you're describing there is my understanding of a GitHub pull request, right?
yeah, I feel like some of the discussions we had earlier was like that there's genetic variance and like the strongest traits win out on the seed over time, which I easier said than done, but so
Right.
not quite a like there's a one seed, but there might be like people have different variations and then leading ones tend to rise to the top
Got it. Yeah.
if that's doable.
So each seed has almost like a leaderboard of like best use of this seed, top use of this seed, top modification of this seed.
Yeah.
Yep. Raw seed, pure seed, raw seed, modification. Yep.
But I mean, going back, do we want to have my people be like a thing we should all try installing, see what needs to be done? That way, my people's like the premier seed right now.
Is there a seed for it?
There is. There is. Is in my personal repo. Yeah. I'm curious what happens when you ask your cloud to install that. There's a few add-ons. Like there's features, extra features that the main seed doesn't have. So you can
one
install
of
the
the
base of my people and then ask it Claude to install the add-on, and then you have the some extra features.
One of the things that I know is like really important to Sam was like, and the reason why I don't, so like he was really big on like the recursion element of these and like the nested nature. And I don't think, I assume that my people seed right now doesn't have any of that. So I don't, I don't know why that was like, I guess I don't fully grasp like why that was so important to him, but I mean, I get it as a concept. Like, I think like seeds being able, maybe it's just like, I agree that seeds should be able to do that. And it's like an important part of the spec. So maybe like we want to show off seeds that have all the important parts of the spec in there, maybe. I don't know. But to me, I'm just trying to channel what I think Sam would say, but like I think in some ways I think my people is probably like the best seed that I can think of in that it's like some developer focused workflow tool that everyone's going to want to like highly customize to fit their specific needs.
Well, I feel like the subseeds is like good because it can be a nice, easy way to bring in extra capabilities. So I would say like, are there extra capabilities like hooking my people up to the iMessage interface and you can communicate that way? Is that like, I mean, I loathe to make ridiculous install times and make it more complex than necessary to install something, but it seems like at least maybe there's things either that or things like that where it's like we can add a little value and show that functionality off.
Yeah, or like does your dashboard interface become a seed, like its own seed, and you can choose to add that or not? Like whatever those extras are that you mentioned, Daniel, like do those become their own seed that can be used interchangeably in My People or Kitchen? And that's the recursion.
Yeah. Yeah. So one feature, for example, is a wall of terminals where I can visualize in real time all terminals, and this could, assuming Kitchen is using Tmax as well, this is something. This is a seed that could be installed in either Kitchen or in My People. So it's a seed by itself that I can plug into My People. Or using Plow iMessage channel to communicate with my boss. Could be a seed by itself that we can use both with Kitchen and My People.
Okay. How is everyone feeling in this moment? We don't have a definitive plan forward, but I'm just curious what
Missing Sam.
the top thoughts are.
Yeah. The recursive element, that's interesting. That it kind of, how do you define that, Lucas?
So
Well,
I do think. Oh, go ahead, Lucas.
I was just gonna say, like he likes the fact that like these seeds you can have reusable components across multiple seeds. So like the Plow, like I made this thing for Plow Chat where it's like you can hook up to iMessage and that can be used across a bunch of different seeds.
I see.
That's really it. Just like some nesting of and reusable components.
Okay.
I guess where I was gonna get at is like, I think in this ideal world, we'd be launching like a curated catalog of our top seeds that have recursive elements, and then someone gets their interest piqued, and so they go and they create their own seed and they like feed into it. That is too ambitious for what we set out to do in a week and a half, you know? or like that's what I'm feeling. Like we haven't quite figured out the seed creator yet. Which is kind of holding up to us like creating a bunch of quality seeds from a single spec, right? Too. But like, I guess what I keep coming back to is like, what is like the most, in lieu of having the seed creator, like what is the most interesting thing that we could learn? And like, it's almost that like these seed specs actually work for everyone. Like this idea that we have of a seed can be installed and run, and maybe it piques people's interest. And I feel like we could get that. And I don't know if we need even the recursive nature to really get that signal, right? Like that might be like the next signal that we try to get is like, okay, can we like make these so they're like reusable building blocks or like smaller bite-sized pieces that like go into the seed. But like if a seed doesn't even work or people don't even care to use it, then like it doesn't even matter if we have a seed creator, right? Interest in the seed creator by even having like an upsell from like someone downloads my people or whatever seed we want to kind of launch, and it's like, do you have your own workflow that you want to share? Go here. And if they go, like we can gauge that even without allowing them to like complete that loop right now, I think. I don't know, does that resonate or excite anyone?
I mean, so you're basically saying like just start focusing on creating, like just focus on the seeds and see if we can get anybody to like create good quality seeds, probably more by hand than by this like creator, and then see how people interact with installing them.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter if we have a creator if no one even wants a seed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like starting with I wonder if like, and let me back into this. Like, for me, like, if there was a piece of software that was available to me, or like through this seed process that could, kind of almost just capture a wave of interest right now in something. So, for example, like the World Cup, I feel like that's kind of maybe a way to kind of back into this is like, what are some of the things that people are really into right now that could pique some curiosity around, AI, find a utility in something they're passionate about and build a seed around that, and then find something else that's similarly kind of getting a lot of chatter, a lot of, speculative interest right now. Could we kind of growth hack the seeds based on some common themes that we're seeing? You know what I mean? Is there value there? World Cup predictor. We, I mean, you can just go for Kaushi for that, but
Just be like ticket finder.
Yeah, like what are some like classic frustration points? I mean, buying tickets is awful. Like, I feel like that's maybe where we could get some traction with, because the other thing is like, the more people we have talking about this, we can kind of that's why the hackathon is such a great idea. It's like having 100 people put their brains towards finding utility in a seed is such a great, way of bringing people into this concept. But I just wonder if we just need some greatest hits, examples to get people excited. Like the my people thing is really excited. The kitchen thing is but to get there, you have to be like, okay, I like the idea of having agents do things for me, which is, pretty cool, but it's kind of sophisticated too. If there's something that's just kind of like keep it simple, stupid, like this is how you get yeah, you get to know the World Cup games for your team, or how you get to buy tickets for a band that you like. This is how you create a learning guide to Toy Story 5 for your kids who've gone and seen the summer movie.
I think all these ideas are cool and we should document them. It makes me a little nervous to like start from scratch with like theoretically 2 days worth of work, or like 2 work days. But I don't know if anyone else feels that way, or if y'all feel more capable of creating something like everyone's describing, and then also creating a seed for it.
Well, maybe we don't have to. Maybe we set it as the hackathon criteria. Like, maybe there are some things that we say. This is the educational utility group. This is the recreation. This is the what I mean. We could maybe kind of create some categories that people could ideate against, and have other people build seeds.
Yeah, I love that for the hackathon. I don't know if that leaves us something to launch on Monday, though.
Launch is the announcement of the hackathon. With the
Yeah.
ideas
It could
we
be.
came up with.
I feel like maybe we're like, ugh. I just remember when we were working, I think it was mainly like Lucas and Chris and I, like working on Ren. We were just like, I feel like when we like had an idea, we mocked something up and we like did all.
Oh man.
Let's change to Riverside.
Okay. We were just like learning at such a faster rate than even like trying to prepare something for a launch. I feel like we have to have something so much more like concrete for that. And I almost like am questioning our approach right now. We need to get back to like just
just
really
learn
quick cycle.
Before building, or
Yeah. So I think
I think the thing
I'm
about
hearing you say we should like learn from like a handful of people before we try to like put it on Product Hunt and learn from like hundreds of people.
Yeah. Or like is the launch on Product Hunt going to give us the best signal of like, do people want seeds? Like there's so many variables of like, did they find us? Did they find the particular seed interesting? Like versus like having these seeds and like trying to talk to like 10 developers, have them download my people, see if it works for them. If it doesn't work, like, or like talk to them, like, are they interested in this? Are they not? What would they change? What would they change in the process? Like, and like have that help inform even like what the seed spec is, or like, is the installer the right, is the seed spec the right thing right now? Should it be, I don't know 100% what your guys' conversation was on Thursday, but like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, like,
yeah. Well, I think it's also very
just
true
feel like
that if
we're
we
being
go do a launch and things don't meet our internal, this is useful, this is good, then the launch won't go well anyways. It doesn't matter. And I think there's like the notion of like what's the actual thesis and what can we do to prove the thesis? What's the best route at that? So I would say, what's the thesis for why seeds are valuable is kind of the biggest question. And I don't know if I actually have, like some answers, but I don't know if I have like a prioritized this is like the vision answer personally. Maybe others do.
I think Daniel's probably the best person to explain it because Daniel's the only like the I still can't wrap my head around the fact that you develop my people like through seeds. Like every time I've been trying to build a seed, I've come back to the conclusion of like, okay, I need to have like a canonical implementation in real code that I can like iterate on and make perfect and then like try to back a seed out of that. So the fact that you're like building in seeds, I think is like you can explain why you're
Yeah,
doing it that way.
yeah. Um, okay, I think that if you come up with the perfect code base that you really like and approve, and then you ask Claude, "Hey Claude, see this perfectly built code base? I want to add another feature," and then this will not work. This will have bugs. This will break on some random feature will break, and that is okay. So this is my vision about. I have a well built project, and now I'm actually like Claude built that thing, and then I'm asking Claude to improve it, getting from the 90% to the 100%. I don't think Claude will be able to do that. But what if the position that I am at today is because I do have all the features described for that software, and Claude is able to implement each feature and validate each feature until all the features are correctly implemented. Then, and I'm at the point where I can throw away that running project. I can throw away the code base as long as I have the seed. I don't know what the seed looks like. Maybe the seed it's the person intention plus the tests or plus the description of the test or plus the test itself, like, hey, use the browser to click around these two buttons and record a video and make sure this happens. I don't know what the seed looks like. But if you're at the point where you do have this seed that every time you throw away the project and ask Claude, hey Claude, build this thing, and I open the running thing, and is the software, now I have the confidence that Cloud is able to maintain that project. So if I want to add a new feature, I would just do the same the same thing I did to get to that point. I can do one more piece and have Cloud build correctly. And every time I ask to hydrate that seed, it works and I have a working software. And then I want to add another feature, I do the same process. But if I'm starting from, if I don't have this, like all these blocks working and working every time, I don't trust Cloud is going to be able to magically uh, come from the software that works to a description that is able to one-shot that software. Um,
I think, okay, so if I think I was to sum it up, I think what you're saying, at least from what I've experienced, is that one of the issues with coding, not in my summary, one of the issues with coding is like it sucks at architecture level. So I think if I was to sum up what you're saying, Claude can do a better job with overall architecture and implementation if you're starting building from prose and a seed.
um, I think what I like, I want to have the guarantee that what I'm asking Claude to build is what will be delivered for me. And the only way I can know this will happen is to run this a lot of times and visualize that every time is doing correctly. So it learned how to verify that feature. Um, so
So I'm hearing you say that almost like this, like the spec is more important to you than the output of the code, because the spec is like the essence basically of what
these specs,
of what you
yeah,
want. And it's not like the code implementation could add other stuff, or it could like talk about edge cases that you don't care about. I don't know, but like you want the feature, you want this feature, and that's all that matters to you.
I want this feature and I want this feature working, and I want proof that this feature works. If I can do that for all the features that my software, so assuming my software is the sum of all the features, and I can verify each feature individually with proof that it works, then every time I ask Claude to build something for me or add a new feature, it will work because I nailed the process of asking Claude to implement features for me that work, because it is really good at verifying that uh, what was asked versus what was delivered. And Claude really sucks at verifying this and will think that the thing is done when it's not. And the way I was able to improve this is by having the engineer that did not build, like the engineer that is simulating the user using the feature. Hey, Claude, open the browser on the URL that the other engineer says this is running and use it. Uh, like one example. Claude tell me, hey, this is done, task is done, you can use it. I ask, where can I access it? This is not, and Claude response will be, this is not running. If you want to run this command, and this will start the thing. If I have the user testing, the user, the engineering doing the test can only test something that is up and running. And so like by trying to access and test the feature, it will catch that the engineer who built did not start the thing. So if it didn't start the thing, how did the engineer verify that the feature works? Right. And this so this is like the first fail that it will catch.
So to summarize, to reframe it then, I would
Yeah.
say if I was to put the thesis now after that, spec-driven development will produce better results than code-driven development. Is that how you would summarize
I
it? Or?
think so. As you're saying this out loud, I don't think that the having the spec itself versus spec-driven development versus code-driven development will change the output. What changes the quality of the thing is the test that is being done over each feature. Um, so having this external engineer open the browser and test whatever that feature describes is what guarantees that the thing is working. I could have the same thing, either asking Claude to add it to use the source code as the source truth, and based on what's the code, update the code and do the test, and I will be able to verify that it works. But I think the code gets stale. The code will have bugs that or edge cases that the user don't care about or the user didn't request, and then now the code is the source of truth. If we were able to have the code reflect exactly what the user wants, and we are testing each feature as the user would use, I think we would be able to get code-driven development as good code-driven development. So having, I guess, having this back define everything is what allow me to throw away the code. And if you, Jonathan, want to use my project and you have only the code, maybe you're not, it will be not as straightforward for you to change my software versus if you have just the description of the user for each feature, you could just ask your cloud to change, hey, see feature A39, change that requirement for something else.
Well, okay, so I guess I think the why is having the validation makes this flow better, right? Like validation is like the number one key point.
I think without validation, we can't build anything that we say, hey, this will work. Like I build will be random, right? It could work, it could not.
Yeah, I'm hearing you say it's like the spec, it's not even like the spec as much as it is about like the steps to validate the software. And so if you were to ship real software that comes with these like list of like ways to validate, that would be just as good. But like we can ship with less stuff by just shipping with these like validation feature steps. And the software can be built based on those.
So I guess one thing though is like how do you resolve, so because it sounds like you're saying if it's not like spec-driven development is necessarily better, it's the validation that makes it better. Like, is that not making enough of a stand on like the benefit of a seed, which I guess seed and spec I think we can use interchangeably at least a little bit.
I don't, for me, if I like I'm the user, I did I can't imagine like by me reading all the source code or asking Claude to read all the source code, it easily coming up with everything that the user asked that software to do. Versus if I'm looking at this spec or the seed that defines, hey, this software needs to be to exit needs to be able to do this feature and do this other feature and do this other feature. It's much natural and easy to understand. Okay, this software is proposing to do this, and I was able to test this, and it did that. Okay, works. Next feature I want to validate, versus just having the source code as being the source of truth.
So I guess I see at least three things right now: easier to understand, easier to edit, easier to validate.
Yeah.
I don't know what the priority order is on those, but at least I think those are
like that's a great summary, I think, Jonathan. Where
That's what I'm
did you
trying to
share
do. I'm
this?
trying to like,
Did you
how
share
can we like
this?
distill this?
Yeah. Because, for example, when I was building Almanac, the process I did to build the seed for Almanac first was Claude, check out this source code, list for me all the features that this software is supposed to do, like all the problems that this is solving for a user. And so if I don't have the spec from the living artifact, the code implementation, this example of code implementation, I extracted the user features that I wanted. And then from the user features, then I was able to build the seed and ensure that each feature that I extracted from the artifact was working. And so we could even use source code, but if we want to extract if we want to get the recipe or get the spec out of this artifact, we would need to do this hop. So if instead of doing this hop, why don't we just use this seed as the source of truth? I guess that's my motivation for. I guess that's clear, right?
Yeah. I mean, I
Yeah,
think
so
from our
here's
previous conversation, I was like, I think we all considered the source of truth to be slightly different, and yours was definitely on the seed as like the source of truth, and everything stems from there. And yeah, it's just like a kind of a one-off if you had code to turn it into the seed, and then you kind of just work with the seed from there.
Yeah, yeah. This will be a one-off if that version of the code represents only and all the stuff that my user wants, and and instead of also containing uh, decisions that had to be made, compromises or bugs or stale code, or so that's like a maybe 90% or 80% of the what what is important to the user.
Yeah. I mean, I think ideally, if there are code level change, like, so if the seed is the source of truth, but you need to make code level changes for whatever reason, maybe it's something an agent can't come up with because it's just totally brand new, or it's like bugs. Hopefully, there would be some flow to get that back into the seed. So the seed still is the ultimate source of truth, even if it contains some amount of code, is kind of how I was thinking about it. I don't know what that flow really is like in practice, but I feel like that's vaguely necessary.
Yeah, this um, yeah, this is hard for you to keep the seed. If I'm using, that's the problem I have with my people. I just want this bug fixed. I just want you to increase the font size on the thing that I'm using right now. I don't want you to change the seed and hydrate the seed and see if this works or not and verify that. So and then what I will do is, hey, change the font size, change the seed as well for me. But then the next time I do a fresh install, not necessarily I will have the thing that I was running live. It's not necessarily what we'll have after the hydration, because the process that verifies that this seed produces this software was not run because I was lazy.
I mean, I think then the question is, is that, how big of a problem is that? How, you know, but then ultimately the question is like, we think doing it as a seed is easier to understand, easier to edit, and easier to validate. Is that true? And does that outweigh the other benefits of current code-based truth? I feel like that's the question I have. I mean, I feel like that it needs to be answered by more.
What can
That's it. It needs to
you?
be answered by more than us. That's like the thesis. We need to
Yeah,
prove that thesis.
yeah. So if I'm only using my people for myself, I don't care, right? I like the code can be the source of truth for me. I don't need to reinstall this from scratch. But if I want to share this with someone else, I would like to know that on a blind hydration of the seed, this produces the software, which I say, hey, if you want to use my people, just provide this prompt to your agent.
I thought you were saying earlier that like even if you were having trouble developing onto my people because if you were using just source, like you would add a new feature and then stuff would break or something. So would you, if it was just for you, you would have it be source code or
Okay, yeah, yeah. I will. If this is a, it depends. It depends. If I like, if this is a company project, or if this is a, that's not a toy project,
Mhm.
I don't want this to break, and I want to be able. I want to know that the engineer that is building that project is capable of building that project and maintaining that. And the only way I know that is by having it do it in front of me. In front of me, hey, Troy, whatever you have, build the project for me. If it
Because then you
doesn't,
can get validations of everything that you care about. Every story card can be validated. You can get screenshot video proof that all of these 50 features work just as described.
yes, yes. So unless this is a toy project, I would. Well, okay, I don't care about the spec or the seeds. I care that the engineer that is building this thing for me tomorrow, after I
Yeah.
change the context, after I change from Cloud to Codex, whatever, uh, it will be able to maintain the project for me. That's what I care. And I was not able to figure out another approach other than having it throw away and build it again without any source code as reference.
You could imagine a world though, right, where you have your source code and you also have this list of verifications, and then he goes and your people go and add a new feature, but then they have to verify every single thing in that list
Yeah, but I
to make
have the
sure that
list of
like
features that I want to verify, right?
yes,
And and how to verify that, right?
yep,
That's my seed. The list of
yeah,
features and how to verify
right.
them.
So the source
So,
code becomes optional because you
yeah,
have that
I
those
could.
thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes, I could keep iterating on the same code base because what I care is the list of features and the tests that they pass. Not necessarily I need to start from scratch. I could.
Right.
Uh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's the nicest takeaway for me. I mean I now I understand more about why you're building in that way. So that makes sense to me. It's like the next evolution of test cases, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. This real. Yeah. Exactly. Real tests. test-driven development on steroids.
Okay, so given that, then how do we feel about Mary's original question on what to do in 2 days?
Um, we could launch Kitchen and My People as two seeds that we actually use. I mean, I use like this. This is not like some vaporware idea dummy project. Like I use this every day to work, and I think I'm almost top two. No, I think I'm almost top one on the token maxing. Um, and then I don't know if you want to change the or strategy, or like this is a real product that I use every day, and I would like to be able to 100% say, hey, if you like this, you can use this seed and this will work. And to be able to achieve that, we need to
So that
nail.
maybe we do a
we,
product hunt launch of My People is really more what it's about.
um I think I think I'm talking about My People just because that's a real product slash project. But what is important there is we were able to nail the verification step of each feature that the software requires, and and that's what make a good seed is a seed that you can verify all the features it needs to have. Because if you have the verification, then the agent that is installing will be able to install because it know how to verify, and can just keep the loop until it's done.
So, I mean, is the question then like, is there actually good verification if this was widespread? Are we testing to see like, yeah, this really will produce a working My People across a wide range of devices? If we're testing like, yeah, this kind of verification validation produces what we think it produces? Is that the question? Or are you suggesting saying something else?
Um, I guess I'm saying that publishing a seed that we know the install will work because we nailed the verification of each feature is a good challenge. If we're publishing a, at least I think My People is a good project, and it will be enveloped as a seed, so we will be able to see if uh, people care about installing seeds, or what do y'all think?
think I like that it gives us something to learn on Monday, potentially. So I think the flow would be, if I'm like hearing this correctly, the flow would be essentially we would take them like product hunt. If they click on it, we would take them to the individual seed page for my people, where they could download it. And then maybe we have like a call out on that page for openseed.sh where they could go and learn more about seed creation, which right now it doesn't have like the seed creator, but it would.
I
don't know. Like maybe the seed.
Sorry to interrupt.
What?
Just as you're talking about, we want to like nail this seed creator, and connecting to that flow that Jesse Vincent shared about the cards, right? Each feature is a card. What if the seed creator is just an instruction for the agent that is saying, hey, if you want to build the seed for this thing, first thing you need to do is, are you able to validate that this, like, are you able to test this feature? For example, the easy flow for me is, are you able to open this in a browser, record a video of the agent controlling the page and testing this feature? Yes. Okay, so describe how this needs to be tested. And you describe all the features, how to test all the features. That's your seed. This, yeah, I had, yeah, I just thought about that. Like, this could be the seed creator.
So before I build on that, like I wonder who's actually gonna want to, like, that feels like a lot of work to create a real, like, to create a seed in that way, because it's like you're at, like this interview process and like naming the features and like it feels like real work, and I would have a hard time imagining that people would want to share in this way, but I guess that's why we test it, right? But I'm also at this, like, the way that we have this set up, it's like I feel like somebody's going to need to do a lot of work to create a seed or to install a seed, and it's like, where's that work going to fall?
Yeah, like real engineering, like creating the seed, right?
Yeah, that's going to be real engineering in the way that you described it.
Yeah, can you I don't know, do we have a seed creator, or was there a different view of how this seed creator would work that you can like, is there another version that there's less work but we can guarantee the quality of what will be installed later?
No, I mean, the thing that I was trying to work on was like have it be less work, because in my mind I'm like, oh, like people are gonna like vibe code these projects. They don't know what they're doing. They're not engineers, but they built something that's like of value. And then so my seed creator is like kind of leaning towards, okay, maybe talk to the user a little bit about what they built, look at the source code, and then just extract like some version of it that could be recreated, but it's not going to be high fidelity. It's just going to be like a starting point maybe for like some new project, like when then somebody installs it, and then it's going to be like work on that end too, to like, I mean, it could one shot install would be the hope, but then maybe it's not 100% of the features, or I mean, and that's why I'm struggling, is because then it's like it's not very good. And
yeah,
I mean, in a
it's not
way,
very
I
good.
feel like if it was while you're vibe coding, if it's like producing the seed as the vibe code session initially, or at least maybe even after you vibe coded, it knew all your instructions, that could be like useful. But yeah, it does seem like it's a development environment.
Oh wow, what if you could go back and like look at the Claude logs of like the project that you made and then like create the seed from that? Because then you get like the user's intent based on like how they're prompting.
Yeah. As a total side note, what I do, I haven't done it for too much here, but on some of my other projects, I have Claude hooks, and all of my input on Claude's final output, I save in a file that's like the branch name. And so anytime I do a commit, I have all my conversation and what Claude did. So I always have like the intent going with the commit.
That's cool.
Nice. Nice. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I should. What works for me is storing all. I care about my messages, like my inputs, and then whatever my people builds, I give feedback. I have this context available later if I want um, to to query.
Okay, this is getting
Yeah.
we're getting close to 2 hours, which is a
Yeah.
long stand up. I know we're solving some good things, but
What's the question that we need to answer?
I mean, like, how are we spending the next 2 to 3 days before Sam is back, and what will we have to show for the last 2 weeks? If are we going to launch something on Product Hunt? If we're not going to launch something on Product Hunt, do we have a good reason for why we're not, and like a good path forward to continue to learn on what we're doing? I think those are like the important. I think it's important for us to have answers to that for Monday.
I think if we're not launching seeds or open seed, at least if we could say we have, and we don't even have to do it, but if we could at least say we have one seed that we can launch. I mean, kind of like Almanac, but maybe, yeah, I mean, I guess maybe it's kind of like Almanac, but one that's um, maybe is a little bit more of like, here's the full intention of the seed also.
Yeah.
And we don't have to even do it, but if we have one ready to go, I don't know. I feel like that would probably be a good thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a good point though, because we like kind of, I guess, did that with Almanac, but then we were like, this isn't really a seed. It wasn't built off of the seed convention. So like, is that true also of my people?
True in what sense?
I mean, I guess like we launched Almanac, right? Kind of. And we didn't learn anything from that launch, right? Because we also were like, well, it wasn't really built off of the seed convention that we're generating. It wasn't, like it wasn't built in the same way. So we didn't feel strong about using it as a seed. So like, are we just going to get that same read from launching, say, like my people?
Yeah, I think so. So one approach would be we launch a good seed. Could be like Almanac rereading. Could be my people. But we also, I don't know if we launch or we draft open seed, and whatever this seed that we are releasing conforms to the open seed that we create, and we are proud to defend the decisions of that open seed.
Yeah, I feel like the open seed spec, I feel like needs to change now to be more opinionated, probably about like this verification step that Daniel's talking about. Like if we go down that road, like to have the actual, like, yeah, I don't, yeah, like a seed could become like this story card feature or whatever that you're talking about.
Lucas, what are you feeling for Monday?
I don't know yet. I think we could launch a seed and that like we could just take another whack at that and see what happens. Have it, I would lean towards something simpler almost, but like, I mean, I think my people could be a good one, but that's not going to hit some of the things that I know Sam's interested in, but I think it could still be really good to see.
What if it was my people using the blog connector on iMessage, so you control your boss from iMessage? So this would be a dependency.
Yeah, that could be cool. I
What
also
if we?
like, I have,
Yeah,
or like even like the family assistant thing, like I think if you just made like I could take Domo and make it just something that runs on your Mac. And now you just have like a textable family, like you get the morning messages of the calendar and reminders and like take a screenshot and send it to the calendar app to add something to your calendar or something. Like just like a small purpose driven agent.
That'd be cool.
So those things I think are kind of compelling from a product standpoint. I don't know what steps we would need to take to try to like have a creator for then. But I can think about that. Like if we were to
having a
try to launch
creator.
like a seed, so like having, sorry. So I think like we could, it feels very doable to like try to ship some really compelling seeds for a Monday thing. Shipping a compelling like seed creator for Monday,
It's hard.
I feel like is a lot blurrier.
What
It's just if
that feels out of scope just based on the conversation, but like if it's just like we're getting like you want to create a like instead of actually launching the seed creator, we like take them to a landing page where they like say they want to create their own seed and like we'll reach out to them or something like that. I don't know. Like that could be like an potentially interesting like signal too.
Yeah, we could just work with them one-on-one, I guess, to create them.
Yeah.
That would
like
be interesting.
if 100
I
people
don't know if
come to
anybody
our
would do
spot
that.
to download the seed and 2 of them want to build their own.
I mean, I feel like people
More
need to know
users.
like, what a
We
seed.
don't have it now.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah,
that?
people need to know like what a seed is and the advantage of doing it. Just like sign up.
Yeah.
So I think concretely for that, I think we need the OpenSeed site to explain and examples to show, if that's the case. Otherwise, no one will just like randomly be interested, or we
Right.
won't get
You
like
need to like
the right
distill
signal.
that Daniel essence of why. Basically say what he's talking about, like specs and verification, and just replace all those words with seeds. And that'll be good.
Okay, so my top priority is to get this open seed page updates in. I don't know if it does I don't know if it explains the current view on what a seed is, but it was current to whatever I had done or written about it. And then sounds like Daniel, you're making, or well, do you want to do the family assistant or my people, or have both ready? I mean, it'd be good to have both. We could literally launch both and both drive it to like their seed pages and see like if we get traction from either one.
Yeah, I think we could do both. I if like Lucas would work on the other one and I can work on the My People, then we have 2 seats for Monday. Yeah, sounds like a plan for me. There was I wanted to make a joke a few minutes before. I was like, if Lucas create the seed creator or the installer like on Sunday, we can leave it running to have a lot of seeds on Monday because the seed creator will be solved.
Well, then
Just
that leads me
create
to the
seeds
joke I
from
wanted
nothing.
to make. If we launch 2 distinct seeds on Product Hunt, then that's like that's like double marketing exposure for seeds in general. So we should just launch like 200, fill up all the Product Hunt, and then it's all
All
just the
seeds,
seeds. We just
everyone
like,
doing seeds.
yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh gosh, so you know what'd be really funny is if we like when we were like really ready to launch, we just troll Product Hunt of like go on like the last days or something, or like as seeds are like populating, create seeds out of them and then relaunch them like on the board. So it's like, hey, you made this thing great. We just made a way to do it for free.
Like the things that were released at the day or the day before.
I don't know, because do you have to schedule it ahead of time or can you just launch whenever?
You can schedule to the next day.
Okay, yeah. If you have to do, I guess like take everything on a given day and then just relaunch them all the next day.
Oh yeah, that's like that's cool. If we have the seed creator, like just download their video, transcribe the thing, access their website, list all the features, and do a seed. Yeah, that would be cool.
I don't know if that'd make us friends, but make a statement.
All right.
Do you think the seed creator should work just from like no source, like no actual code, and just like, oh, watch this video, make the requirement? It's just like a requirement stock now.
Like I think like the seed creator would work based on the seed that defines the features and how to test. So if we create this from the source code or from a video about someone talking about that thing or from the change logs history of a public product or a daily scrum that we talked about an idea, as long as we are able to create this document with the list of features and how to validate them, the seed creator should work. So it's kind of like there's the extract user needs that creates the document, and the process of installing and keep iterating on the install until you have a install that works and passes the tests.
Okay, so in your mind, you would give the agent something that's working or a video, something that the agent can interact with, and then the agent would extract these features, or like how much user help would be in extracting the features?
I don't know, but this is like when we want to build something as engineers, we will do the brainstorming with the agent, so the agent extracts the intent from us
Yeah.
of what we want to build. This is like, okay, I'm doing a brainstorming with you about the features I want you to ship, but here is a lot of great content about what I want to ship. For example, here's the source code of what I want to recreate with a few different features. Or here's the YouTube video someone is discussing about this. This is all the context I want us to do the
Okay.
brainstorming now. Or
Yeah.
like, I don't want to be involved. Just extract all the features you think you can extract and build the thing for me. It's up to the person who's
And
driving
then it would
the
build
agent.
and then show you the thing.
Yeah,
Or no?
yeah,
I mean, it has to. Like the way that you're describing it, it's like it builds it
yeah.
so that it can.
After you give like the go to the agent, I want that the agent has proof of the features I asked. Like the features that I asked, I want to see videos of them working, and then I will use the thing, and maybe I can say, hey, nice, that's what I want, or I will use and say, hey, great test. I need you to update the test because this thing was not tested as a to the level I want.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Go team.
So we're creating 2 seeds, and then I'll still be mucking with this seed creator.
Yeah, and I think at least we want to say, hey, these 2 seeds, they match our intention on the open seed definition of what a seed looks like.
Well, we changed the definition of the seed spec, the open seed spec, to be like super minimal. So I don't think it's going to be hard. I don't think you're
Oh
going to
yeah,
have a hard time matching that
yeah,
spec, but I do think we should. Maybe we should. I would be open to adding more structure to it so that we can say, I don't know whether a seed itself is going to be a small story or like a list of stories with verification steps, but we should probably add something in there about the verification.
yeah. Cool. As long as we can tell Sam that those 2 seeds are matching our open seed, I think we're good.
Yeah. Cool.
Cool. So
Right.
this is the
Yeah, as
first.
those seeds are developed, feel free to toss them my way, and I'm happy to help validate, run, test also.
Nice.
Definitely will do that. Cool.
Okay, that's the first Scrum with only small amount of members that we completely gone. So maybe that theory that small amount of members
Oh, yeah.
equals short Scrum didn't work today.
This wasn't a Scrum. The Scrum ended, and then it became like
Yeah.
my therapy session because I was like feeling down about seeds.
Okay,
You guys
now,
helped me
yeah,
out a bit. So
now
Do
it
you
makes
feel
sense.
better about seeds?
How are you
yeah, I
feeling
think
about
so. I
seeds?
feel better. It's nice just to chat with people. That's
Yeah.
good.
Right.
I don't feel like I'm like missing out on something that everybody else was in on. So that's good.
Cool.
Right.
Oh my god.
Take care, everyone.
Okay.
Sorry, Lucas and Jonathan. I didn't even check I don't know why I didn't get notifications for this on the Slack thread.
Yeah, mine was pretty. I mean, mine was like almost at 7 p.m. or something. So
You know, Slack just like sometimes doesn't send notifications. Even I've tried every single setting to make like everyone a VIP, have myself available at all times, and it's still I still miss stuff.
Yeah, no, you're fine. I'm glad I.
It's like you have one job, Slack.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks. I'll take a look at what y'all thought. Appreciate you doing
I mean,
that.
if you want more, I didn't likewise, I didn't really look I kind of read it, but I didn't like read it. So if you want feedback on the
Copy.
actual copy, then I can take a more detailed pass.
It might
I'll just do that.
be helpful. I mean, I honestly, I don't know if I changed a lot at the top. No, I did. I changed it a decent amount from what Sam's first version was, just because I like went in and like kind of rewrote it, but I rewrote it with chat just because I'm like not really the ideal developer, but it just sounds a lot better, and it wasn't using like the funny like truncated sentences that LLMs like to use, like first install, do it again. Or I don't know, like, the funny little lines that it chooses. So I do feel more like much more confident about it than I did for like the same version Sam had, but it would be good for a real human
Okay, yeah, I'll take a look.
developer to read through. Awesome, thanks. All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna go walk my dog and stretch my legs.
All right.
cool. Thanks everyone. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good chat.